happy we get each other's ground 3 times. But we will not stop dealing with it.
Our experiences advise the executive to bring these agencies together.
Their locality are now being targeted and kidnapped on a daily basis.
This house will not only condemn the mandate called kidnapping.
Correspondent revisit grounds of petition by PDP Aso forces on the merits or otherwise of the petition.
The Edo elections were clear. We've been saying that the PDP clearly won the popular votes, and Aso should have been declared winner.
Defense of the first respondent, which is INEC. INEC looked at the whole team and discovered that there was no need for them to call any witness, and thereafter they closed their case.
It's a strategy to just be deceiving their supporters that they have a case. They don't have a case. Keep them busy. That's what they are doing. And so this matter is finished. Often.
Respondents call Governor Monday Okpebelo, his deputy, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, high in marking 100 days in office.
What I'm seeing in this state for the past 100 days now, they are doing well. They are doing well.
We are seeing it live in Bubahi. I think it's highly commendable.
Thank you so very much for joining on our live tonight. My name is Gifts Uwagboy. And now to the news in details. The Edo State House of Assembly on Wednesday adopted a resolution, 7-point resolution aimed at tackling the menace of kidnappers and herdsmen in communities across Edo State. The resolution includes the transfer of a security personnel from one station to another after 5 years of serving in that station, and a directive that all traditional rulers should reside in the community they are ruling over. BeeTv News Osaroge Agwebo reports that the adoption of the resolution followed the brutal killing of a young man and the rising cases of attacks and kidnapping in Esa Southeast local government area perpetrated by kidnappers and herdsmen. The report.
At Wednesday plenary section, the member representing Esa Southeast constituency, Honorable Sunday Ojezele, moved a consequential motion for a 7-point resolution to tackle the rising cases of kidnapping and herdsmen attacks in his constituency, including a gruesome murder of a young man by herdsmen. The issue sparked a major discourse among lawmakers as they vehemently condemned the act and sympathized with the people of Esa Southeast.
Whereas the people of East and Southeast need to be provided with security and welfare, which is the primary duty of government in accordance with Section 14, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution 2023 as amended. Whereas East sons and daughters recently came home to establish small-scale businesses to assist in development of their locality, are now being targeted and kidnapped on a daily basis.
This house will not only condemn the mandate called kidnapping, but the result that it must be snapped out by legislative intervention.
We need to, from our experiences, advise the executive to bring these agencies together. They go out for bushcombing. That time they did it, and that was how we arrested the situation in Edo State.
Subsequently, after a unanimous agreement, the lawmakers adopted the resolution, including the transfer of a security personnel from one station to another after 5 years of serving in that station, and a directive that all traditional rulers should reside in the communities they are ruling over.
As I said, it's not just only that I know. I think we have get this issue of happy we get each other's ground 3 times. But we will not stop dealing with it because every day it's getting worse and worse every day. So I think we'll have to find a way to eradicate it. It's not completely very one aspect. Just against certain
Thereafter, the House Standing Committee on Works and Public Utility presented the report containing findings and recommendations for a bill to establish the Edo State Road Funds Board and Administration for the purpose of funding the management, planning, development, rehabilitation, construction, and maintenance of Class C and Class D roads and the rehabilitation of Class B roads in Edo State, and the bill for a law to establish the Rural Access Road Agency (RARA) for the purpose of the overall management, development, rehabilitation, construction and maintenance of Class C and Class D roads in Edo State. After the consideration and adoption of the report, the bill came through its third reading.
Road Fund and the Edo State Road Fund Board for the purpose of funding the management, planning, rehabilitation, construction and maintenance of Class C and Class D roads and the construction of Class B roads in Edo State is being passed by this House. Clean copies of this bill should be forwarded to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, distinguished Monday Okpebolo.
In another development, the Speaker, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebak, announced the relief of all political appointees of the lawmakers. The lawmakers observed a minute of silence in honor of two prominent Nigerian leaders, Ayo Adebanjo and Pa Edwin Clark, who dedicated their lives to public service and the development of Nigeria. Osarogie Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
On both the conventional and social media platforms, the People's Democratic Party and Aswa Ighodalo supporters believe that the outcome of the ongoing Edo Governorship Election Petition Tribunal will favor them because of the documents they tendered in court, while the supporters of the APC and Senator Monday Okpebolo believes that the tribunal will not tamper with the mandate that was freely given to Okpebolo by Edo people in the September 21st, 2024 governorship election. In this special report, our senior reporter, Best Orator, will bring to the fore the grounds in the petition and how the petitioners fared on proving their case during proceedings. The report.
It has been weeks of legal battle at the Edo State's Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal, first sitting in Benin and thereafter moved to Abuja, as petitioners are praying the tribunal to overturn the September 21 Edo governorship election, while the respondents are also praying the tribunal to uphold the election of Senator Monday Okpebolo as the governor of Edo State. In this special report, our focus is to delve into the petition itself. What are the grounds of the petition by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Dr. Aswa Ighodalo, in this petition? And of course, what's also the response of the APC, INEC, and also the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebolo? We're going to be giving you an in-depth analysis of what this petition is all about. So sit back and enjoy this special report.
Expectations are high from supporters of both the petitioners and the respondents in the ongoing Edo State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja, the nation's capital. But what are the grounds of the PDP petition? A look at the petition revealed that the petitioners hinged their petition on two grounds. One of the grounds is the allegation that the election was invalid by reason of non-compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. The second ground is the allegation that the second respondent, Senator Monday Okpebolo, was not duly elected by majority of lawful votes cast at the election. On the issue of non-compliance, the petitioner said the first respondent failed to follow the Electoral Act in the conduct of the election, which states that the first respondent, INEC, must prescribe the forms to be used at the election in its manual for election officials 2023, which include forms EC 35B, serial electoral materials received / reverse logistics.
The second being Forms EC 40A, which is ballot paper account and verification statement, Form EC 40B, statement of rejected and spoiled ballot, and Forms EC 40C, statement of used and unused ballot papers. The PDP and Aso Ighodalo in the petition alleged that in 300 and polling units across the 18 local government areas of Edo State, INEC did not record in the prescribed forms the quantity, serial numbers, and other particulars of result sheets, ballot papers, and other sensitive electoral materials. They said failure by INEC to record the serial numbers and other particulars of result sheets, ballot papers, beavers machines, and other sensitive electoral materials rendered the election in the 320 polling units invalid for failure to allegedly comply with the requirement of prior recording under the Electoral Act 2022. The petitioner in the petition listed the various polling units where they claimed that non-recording of quantity, serial numbers, and particulars of result sheets and forms took place across the state. Also, the petitioner stated that in 58 polling units across the 18 local government areas of the state, the number of total votes cast as recorded exceeded the number of accredited votes, alleging that the presiding officers at the polling units and collation officers at the polling centers failed to comply with the fundamental requirements of the Electoral Act. They also said that the total number of votes as well as the number of accredited voters recorded in respective forms EC8A for those polling units in one hand do not tally with the numbers of accredited voters. The petitioner said the purported accreditation was not done in compliance with the Electoral Act as it pertains to the governorship election in Edo State. The petitioner stated that election in some polling units of Akoko Edo, Ego, Esa Northeast, Esa West, Esako Central, Esako East, Esako West, Ikoboha, Oedo, Oriomo, Ovia Northeast, Ovia Southwest, Onwa East, Onwa West, and who the local government areas of Edo State were vitiated by substantial non-compliance with the mandatory requirement of accreditation by beavers and in a breach of the Electoral Act and INEC regulations, extant electoral guidelines and manual for the election issued by INEC, which they claim substantially affected the outcome of the election in the units the petitioners is challenging. The petitioners said in proving their case, they would rely on the certified true copies of the extract of the biomodel accreditation system machines beavers used for the Edo 2024 governorship election. On the issue of overvoting, the petitioner said the serial numbers of result sheets, beavers machines, and other sensitive materials were not recorded, thus rendering those polling units results invalid. In another breath, the petitioners are also challenging the election results in the 320 polling units that the petitioners are challenging. They allege that the first respondent, INEC, did not record in the prescribed form the quantity and serial number and other particulars of result sheets, ballot papers, and other sensitive materials. They said the first respondent failed to record in the prescribed form the serial number and other particulars of result sheet, beavers, ballot papers, and other sensitive electoral materials, rendering the election in the 320 polling units invalid for failure to comply with the requirement of prior recording under the Electoral Act 2022. In the two grounds of the petitioner said the second respondent, Senator Monday Okpebholo, was not duly elected by majority of lawful vote cast in the September 21, 2024 governorship election. Therefore, the PDP is asking the tribunal to deduct 43,632 votes and 8,340 votes from the second and third respondents' score. In reply to the petition, the third respondent, APC, denies the allegation and said it is not true that in 58 and 320 polling units and other polling units that the petitioners are challenging, that the first respondent, INEC, did not record in the prescribed forms the quantity, serial numbers, and other particulars of the result sheets, ballot papers, beavers, and other sensitive electoral materials as alleged by the petitioners. APC and Okpebholo said the polling units the petitioners are challenging, the first respondent, INEC, took proper charge of the conduct of the election according to the first respondent's guidelines. The respondent said there is no basis in fact and law for the deduction of 43,632 and 8,340 from the scores of the second and third respondents and the petitioners respectively, and any other number of votes in units across the state. That the non-consequences of non-compliance to Electoral Act, if at all, is the invalidation of the entire election and does not extend to or include the deduction of votes of the parties or for the benefit of the party who lost the election. The APC and Okpebholo, in reply to the petition, also said that there was no overvoting in the election. In denying the election, the APC said the 58 polling units that the petitioners are challenging does not spread across the 18 local government areas of Edo State, and that it is also not true that the presiding officers and collation officers of the first respondent INEC neglected and failed to comply with the fundamental requirements of Electoral Act to cancel the election in 58 polling units, 320 and other polling units across the state, where the total number of vote cast exceeded the total number of accredited vote cast as alleged by the petitioners. He said that the presiding officers and collation officers of the first respondent INEC were mostly university graduates recruited and trained by INEC on the diligence performance of their specific functions, duties and responsibilities for the proper conduct of the election, and were also sworn to oaths of allegiance and loyalty and neutrality by the first respondent before they were deployed in the conduct of the election. The respondent said the dereliction of duty to cancel invalid vote results and the declaration of false election results by the presiding officers are crimes and electoral offences under the Electoral Act, punishable with imprisonment and fines or both under the Nigerian law, and that the petitioners have failed to prove reasonable particulars of names and identities of the presiding officers and collation officers of the first respondent INEC who allegedly committed the criminal neglect and dereliction of duty or failing to cancel unit results in contestation where the total number of vote cast exceeded the total number of accreditation, and that the petitioners have failed and neglected the presiding officers and collation officers whose conduct is called to question in the said polling units to enable them answer for their alleged criminality and wrongdoing in the petition. The APC and Ukpebolo said there was no incidence of overvoting in the September 24 Edo governorship election as the result of the election declared by the presiding officers in each of the polling units correctly reflected the actual vote cast in the polling units, and both accreditation and voting took place simultaneously in a transparent and seamless manner in the presence of the polling unit agents, such that there cannot be incidences of overvoting in any of the polling units across the state in the governorship election. They also stated that the numbers of vote cast recorded in forms EC8A were not in excess or higher than the numbers of accredited voters in the BVAS report or as ticked in the voters registered used for the conduct of the election, and that at the end of the election, the ballot papers were carefully sorted by the presiding officers in each of the polling units in the presence of party agents and correctly entered into the result sheets. The APC said that the agents of the respondents, including those of the petitioners who were present at the polling unit, verified the pre-recording of unit booklets, electoral material checklist, ballot papers accounts, and verifications accounts of Form EC25B, which is electoral material received and reverse logistics, Form EC40A, statement of rejected and spoiled ballot papers, Forms EC40B, statement of used and unused ballot papers, and Form EC40C, used for the conduct of the election before they proceeded to participate in the electoral process, including countersigning the various polling unit results sheets at the end of the voting exercise. The APC and Ukpebolo therefore told the tribunal that the election in the aforementioned polling units were valid and that the second respondent, Senator Modi Ukpebolo, polled the majority of lawful votes in those polling units, and there was no basis for the petitioners to pray the tribunal to invalidate them. In trying to prove the overvoting and non-compliance and non-prior recording of serial numbers in the designated forms, the petitioners, PDP, and Dr. Aswan Igodalo called 19 witnesses, being local governments, ward and polling unit agents, including one Osei Aneni, a star witness who said he was a professional analyst. Although the petitioners, through a subpoenaed witness of INEC, tendered 152 BVAS machines, none of those witnesses interacted with the BVAS, as they told the tribunal that they were not trained to operate the BVAS machines, which is one of the documents the petitioners were backing on to prove their case. And when it was time for INEC to open their case and apparently to call witnesses which could have been cross-examined by the petitioners to prove their case, INEC pulled the greatest shock when they opened their case and tendered only documents and then closed their case without calling witnesses. The action by INEC, being the first respondent in the petition, according to observers, further rendered the tendering of the BVAS machines useless because none of the witnesses demonstrated the use of BVAS machines during oral evidence. The petitioners listed one Mr. Samuel Odotun, a statistician and a forensic expert. They also listed Aswe Igodalo and the state collation agent Dr. Osagbovo Ihoa, but they were not called to testify. Spokespersons for the petitioners and respondents during the different sittings shared their thoughts with newsmen at different times.
When there are issues that arise after the elections, INEC has to stand up to its responsibility to defend our actions. And just like we've been saying that the Edo elections were clear. We've been saying that the PDP clearly won the popular votes, and Asra Ighodalo should have been declared winner. And today again, INEC has strengthened our case by being unable to provide any witnesses and, of course, saving the Commission the national embarrassment to defend what we have termed the heist that was committed in Edo State. And so the APC, which was to open their case today, they've applied to the tribunal to have a later date. We are hopeful that they'll be able to present witnesses that will be able to defend the heist. We in the PDP, we are affirmed that what we have prayed the courts to declare Aswan winner still holds, because from the evidence we have put forward, from the evidence tendered in court, even by INEC, it shows clearly that the PDP won the majority of votes and Aswan should be declared winner of the election.
Continuation of defense of the first respondent, which is INEC. INEC looked at the whole team and discovered that there was no need for them to call any witness, and thereafter they closed their case. You see, PDP or the petitioners could not even prove their case. There's no point to whipping a dead horse, and that is why they decided not to call any witness. As far as they are concerned, they have tendered all relevant documents as the ICB. So there was no point calling. Can you go and reopen their case for them? No. As far as we are concerned, we know that PDP, their case or their petition died on arrival.
Every respondent or the petitioner has their own strategy on how to defend themselves. And actually, INEC really didn't need to call any witness, because PDP has actually helped them to come and dump the Beavers machine in court. And as far as I'm concerned, I told you the last time that what PDP had done, with my knowledge of litigation, you know, I've been contesting an election, and all my elections they took me to tribunal, including when I was deputy governor first term, deputy governor second term, member of House of Assembly, House of Rep, all we went through the tribunal. So, and what they did, like I told you the last time, is lacking to come into dump documents or machines in the court. And today INEC has come to do what I expected them to do, because they have declared results. They've come to present their results yesterday that they declared. And they don't need any witness. The witness that they need is the document they dropped yesterday. And that's all. So, helping APC case, APC won the election. Ekolo won the election. So, I think what PDP is trying to do is to keep their supporters. But unfortunately, actually, the first 11 of PDP have left. More are leaving today. More will be leaving tomorrow. So what they are doing is a strategy to just be deceiving their supporters that they have a case. They don't have a case. Keep them busy. That's what they are doing. So this matter is finished.
Well, the three parties that withdrew their matter today withdrew because of for the peace, progress, and development of Edo State, and because they don't want to be a clog on the wheel of progress that we found in Edo now, they decided to withdraw their case. I also want to use this opportunity to appeal to PDP to follow suit and also withdraw their case, so that there will not be a clog on the wheel of progress that we found in Edo now. Because as the governor came in from the one, he hit the ground running. I think because of that spirit, those political parties decided to withdraw their matters. I want to use this opportunity to also appeal to PDP headquarters that let them not give tickets to Gay anymore. I know very soon we are going to continue to see development in Edo. Now that we have good news today that some political parties have withdrawn and their cases dismissed, we'll see good roads, agriculture, empowerment in Edo State.
Your own president, the petitioners withdrew their case. I said, one, in the interest of the good state. Secondly, in the interest of development. Thirdly, for the love they have for Mondio people. He has won the election. There's no distractions. They equally appeal to other parties to go and withdraw their pieces. Because it's clear from all indications that they won the election. You can see for INEC, they said there was no cross-examination. Because as far as they are concerned, election is won and won.
However, what is the position of the law in proving electoral fraud or irregularities? To prove overvoting according to Supreme Court, Shekanfi versus Yari 2016, LPELR 26050, page 35, said there is need for a petitioner who alleges overvoting to lead concrete evidence to show that there was indeed overvoting and that it was inured to the winner of the election. Ifego versus INEC 2023 says that the evidence required to prove evidence of overvoting shall be the record of accredited voters in the BVAS, the polling units result sheets, the BVAS machines, and the voter register in each of the polling units. In Andrew Izeyamu versus INEC 2017, LPELR 48518, Supreme Court page 63 to 66, the Supreme Court said tendering of documents without adducing evidence which link the document to the particulars of complaint of the party is fatal. This is because it is not the duty of the court or tribunal to examine the document outside the tribunal and tie them with the complaints of the appellant. In Bergog versus Ahmed, the court emphasized the fact that where the maker of a document is not called to testify, the document would not be accorded probative value, notwithstanding its status as a certified public document. Also in Omishore versus Aregbesola, the Supreme Court said, in other words, documentary evidence, no matter how relevant, cannot on its own speak for itself without the aid of an explanation relating its existence. The validity and relevance of documents to admit facts of evidence is when it is done in the open court and not a matter for counsel address. It is also not the duty of the court to speculate or work out either mathematically or scientifically a method of arriving at an answer on an issue which could only be elicited by credible and tested evidence at the trial. Like they say, the law is the law. And the question begging for answer now is, have the petitioners been able to prove their case beyond all reasonable doubt in line with the Electoral Act, the Evidence Act, or even the Constitution, and also bear in mind past judgments of the Supreme Court? We leave that question for the three-man panel, the Edo State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal, headed by Justice Wilfred Bochi, to answer. In the meantime, Tuesday, 25th February 2025 will be the day for the adoption of the final written addresses by Accord Party and National Alliance, and then on Monday, March 3rd, 2025, the People's Democratic Party and all the respondents will adopt their final written addresses. And as you know, the tribunal is expected to adjourn and to communicate a date to parties for judgment. From the nation's capital here in Abuja, Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
On Tuesday, the 18th of December 2025, the Edo State House of Assembly took a significant law affirming death penalty for kidnappers. The move became necessary following the rising case of kidnapping activity in the state. Commenting on the development, respondents commended the State House of Assembly for the bold move, saying it is a welcome development because kidnapping was becoming a nightmare to businessmen and women, farmers who could no longer go to their farms because of fear of being kidnapped, adding that with this law, it would deter those who are engaging in the activities.
When Mondio was campaigning, he promised us security. I think that is part of our security. Our women don't go to farm, our farmers don't go to farm anymore today because of insecurity, kidnappers here and there. So if they heard they use one as an example, I think the rest will desist from it.
Like most farmers cannot go to farm now because of kidnapping. They kidnap farmers. That's why you have food scarcity, inflation rising, and you see food stuff in the market. It's very expensive because many farmers cannot go to their farms. Those few ones that will have the courage to go to their farm, the next thing you hear, they have been kidnapped, demanding for ransom. That decision is the right one.
Very seriously, I like it. Because they can do it to me. I think but I like that law, very fine.
fantastic.
Respondents are, however, optimistic that this new law will help address insecurity in the state, most especially kidnapping. Freeman Usawe reporting for BeeTv News.
Respondents in Benin have scored the administration of Senator Monday Okpebholo high in his 100 days since his assumption of office as governor of Edo State. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe reports that the respondents are optimistic of a more robust development in the days and years ahead. The report.
Faithfully, and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law.
On Monday, 12, 2024, Senator Monday Okpebholo and Right Honorable Dennis Ida Osawe were sworn in as governor and deputy governor of Edo State, and today the administration is marking its 100 days in office. Respondents in Benin City, while commenting on the 100 days in office, said the governor have to some extent met with some key promises of his campaign and have started well by initiating landmark projects in the state, especially with the flagging of flyover bridge at Ibubahi area, Upper Ikewa Road dualization, the Obada Junction Road rehabilitation, Temboga Road extension, and other numerous road infrastructure in the state, alongside the disbanding of unions, amongst others, achieved in just 100 days. They said this initiative of the governor shows that more robust development will be done in the coming years.
Senator Monday Okpebholo must be commended. He has done well for these 100 days. He has met than beyond expectation. The first flyover in the history of Edo State is coming under his administration. Not that he's going to sign MOU with anybody or he's bringing in a consultant. We are seeing it live in Bubahi. I think it's highly commendable. Is it the area of employing 500 teachers, renovation of schools, flagging of roads within the three political zone in Edo State?
What I'm seeing in this state for the past 100 days now, they are doing well. They are doing well. With the Rama Park, the local government, this where is it called, this community, Obadan, towards to Gweben, Irekme, he has trying. He has trying. We have to give that man a chance. We have to give him a chance so that we will do more. Even after these 4 years in tenure, we'll do more. Because if we give him the chance, we can do more than what we expect. By today, we as an Edo or Benin, we're not supposed to expecting road again, gutter. We're supposed to transform to other extent. But this man has started. Even I had Port Harcourt, they have about 7 to flyover. In Edo State, there is no flyover. Now this man has started, he point about 3 places in this Edo State. He wanted to put Rama Park, supply road with either somewhere Ugbo, didn't know, but the man is trying.
I like the man as he get people to carry along. I like maybe continue the governorship of Edo State. That is number one, my idea. All the whole Edo State don't support him to move ahead. That is, since when he come now into government, Edo State are very cool, no noise.
He has done well. We have been looking forward since the time of Professor Abrosali to have a governor that will affect the state positively. In the area of infrastructural development, just under a few days, you can see what it has achieved. It is something that has not been achieved for the past years. In fact, we are looking forward for more achievements.
He has done perfectly well. At least it's still 100 days, not up to 6 months yet. So we should still give him some time to see what he can really offer to the people.
Yes, governor is doing fine. He's doing those things. If you see the work he has done, look at roads and employment. He's employing people. He employs many cleaners. He's even ready for credit card officers. Even in display Rama Park is only about flyover and many other things. He discussed about billions that he's going to give to farmers for the extension agent to work. So they value Edo State.
Residents are optimistic that Edo State will be more prosperous in the coming years if the governor sustains the current tempo of governance. Freeman Usawe reporting for BeeTv News.
The Neo-Black Movement of Africa, Oongbeni Zone, has donated writing materials to Eroseye, Ove, and Amufi Model Primary Schools in the Kpobaoka local government area, as well as chairs and desks to Igwomo Primary School in Uwonwode local government area of Edo State. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe reports that the donation is to support the academic learning of the pupils. The report.
At Ove Primary School, the members of the Neo-Black Movement Oonigbe Zone, in their continuous efforts in giving back to the society, distributed writing materials to the pupils to aid their academics. Meanwhile, the head teacher of the school used the opportunity to appeal for chairs and desks for teachers and also a bowl for the school so that the pupils can have access to drinking water. The elected pupils and head teacher expressed joy, thanking the NBM of Africa Oonigbe Sub-Zone for the donations and prayed for them to keep succeeding in their pursuit so they can do more for the society.
Donated to us that God will bless them and give them more money to be able to contribute to us, that those that do not have.
You came at the right time, and I'm so impressed being the headmaster of the school. You have come to solve about 80-90-100% of the problems we have in the school. By supplying us school materials to give to the children, chalkboard, and also helping to amend the gate and bringing tables and chairs, teachers' table and children's table to assist us. Well, no, it's a good innovatives in the right direction.
At Erosoyen Primary School and the Amufi Model Primary School, where the NBM team also donated exercise notebooks, writing pens and chairs with a desk to the pupils of the school. The pupils and some teachers thanked the NBM for the wonderful gesture and prayed for the NBM to carry out more gestures as these.
We say thank you for this provision. We made it so that we need to enhance their education. Say may the Lord bless you.
Thank you very much. I'm Mrs. Aigbeni Destiny, the assistant HM of Erosoyen Primary School.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Both the teachers and the pupils of Amufi Modern Primary School, on behalf of our LGA, on behalf of our SUBEB. So we appreciate your efforts. We thank you. Since I have been here, this is the first chair I have seen that provided for us today. It's a great thing. In fact, I'm very happy. We are pleased. We appreciate your efforts for being here this time.
Ex-here at the Igwomo Primary School in Uwonde local government area, where the NBM extended the donation of exercise notebooks, chairs with desks to the school, they encouraged the pupils to focus on their studies.
On behalf of NBM of Africa, we present these educational materials to you.
On their part, the head teacher of the school thanked the NBM for their kind gesture in their capacity as a non-governmental organization.
I want to say thank you for NBM of Africa for giving us school materials, and tables and books. I want to thank him for the ruler, the biro, the pencil, for making our school proud. So I want to say thank you.
Okay, I'm very happy and grateful for your contribution towards the development of education in Nigeria in particular and Africa in general. I appreciate all your contribution. The educational materials we donated to Igwomo Primary School, Igwomo, in Uwonde local government area of those states. I appreciate all your contribution.
In an interview with BeeTv News, members of the Neo-Black Movement, Oonigbe Zone, said the initiative is one of the ways they are giving back to the society as a non-governmental organization, adding that they gave out similar gestures such as rebuilding of a police station, providing medical services, and more, and they will continue to do more of such life-touching programs for the good of the society.
We are members of NBM of Africa Worldwide, global chapter. We cover part of Ikobalka and Uwonde local government areas. This is one of our civic duties to humanity and to the society. Like you know, we've always done all these kind of gestures. The last time was the area command police we built, these health centers. Now we said let's present educational materials to 22 schools within our organization covering Ikobaka, part of Ikobaka, and the modern local governments.
This is part of our, like rightfully said, it's part of our basic civil society, civil things that we give out to society. We've been doing a lot. You know, we just started this now. As of today, we've gone to about 4 different schools. We've given out books. We've given out over 5,000 books, and we still have more to give. By tomorrow, we'll still go around more schools. You know, in essence, what we are trying to do is that we want to encourage other organizations, other bodies that they should support the government. The government cannot just do this by themselves alone. You know, that's why we keep on coming to see what we can do. Like the other school that we went to, you know, they complained about a lot of things. You know, even they lack chairs, they lack a lot of basic amenities. Like what we promised the headmaster and the headmistress there, that we'll come back there to give them more chairs. We'll come back there to look for a way that will give them water.
It's the only weapon you can use to change the world. So as you can see, as an organization, we are giving back in form of education to empower the pupils so that they can become better people in future, to be able to contribute not just to their state, but Nigeria and the world at large.
The Neo Black Movement is a non-governmental organization and its core responsibility is social work activities. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
The federal government is working in collaboration with other stakeholders to be more deliberate in ensuring growth and micro, small and medium enterprises space in Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima at the National Council, when MSME's first meeting in 2025, set up a committee to interface with the Central Bank of Nigeria to enhance the financing of small businesses in the country. The report. The first meeting is to accelerate the moral borrowing of supporting growth in the MSME space and facilitating job creation across different sectors in Nigeria. And the council also approved a loan scheme for MSMEs known as the Syndicate, the Risk Loan for Small Businesses. The scheme will be a partnership between state government and financial institutions aimed at enhancing access to finance for MSMEs at single-digit rates across the country.
Testify to the fact that with carefully crafted plan of action, we can really reposition the Nigerian economy, diversify our takings, and provide jobs for millions of people. We are not a poor nation by any standard. There are certain parts of this country that if money can grow, the land is so fertile. In the Bagapolda project in the Lake Chad area, if you apply fertilizer, your crops will burn, because it's rich patchy soil, and in so many parts of this country. It's a moral burden on all of us here to make this country work. It goes beyond politics.
Vice President Kashim Shettima advised state governments set up vehicles that are devoid of political interest to drive the implementation of the Syndicate, the Risk Loan for MSMEs.
I think the women are doing extremely well in terms of repayment. And I think this is a very important component because the 8-point agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talks about inclusivity. And so when the gender aspect is giving us this kind of performance, then you can imagine how happy we will be, because the gender component is proving that when supported, they can actually contribute very well to the economic fortune of this country.
The cost of doing business is expensive. The cost of logistics is expensive. As Smedan, we are mitigating those challenges. So in terms of logistics, we've negotiated with the NIPOS to get a discounted rate for our small businesses to the tune of 15%.
Very confident by the next council, there will be a major pronouncement in this regard. But we're very confident that at the end of this year, 2025, we will have begun a journey to ensuring that Nigerian small businesses actually they fare in the same vein as businesses, as countries, neighboring countries, or countries anywhere in the world.
The initiative, known as Grow Nigeria Strategy, is to provide guidance, resources, opportunities, and the workforce to support about 40 million small businesses across 8 distinct sectors aimed at providing more job opportunities for Nigerians. Gifts Uwagwe reporting for BeeTv News. As the rainy season sets in, as part of efforts by Governor Monday Okwebelo to curb flooding menace in flood-prone areas in Benin City, Edo State, the construction of Agedo Road off Textile Mill Road is progressing at top speed. BeeTv News Osarogi Agwebo, who visited the road, reports that the residents and motorists expressed immense relief at the prospect of having a flood-free area during the upcoming rainy season. The report.
Agedo Street off Testami Road, one of the popular flood-prone area in Benin City, due to the absence of drains and the deplorable condition of the road. Whenever it rained, residents, business owners and motorists found it extremely challenging to access the road. However, with the ongoing construction of the road with side drains, some residents and motorists who spoke with BeeTv News expressed immense relief at the prospect of having a flood-free road in the upcoming rainy season. They expressed gratitude to Governor Monday Okwebolo for his efforts in tackling flooding in the state.
The road they are doing, we are very happy for the governor and the government of Edo State. We hope we're going to do more of roads in other places.
It's rain. This place, you can't even pass it. But I'm really happy to see the work here. I believe it's the governor that I believe it is handwork. So I'm grateful to him.
Thank God for the governor we could do now. Before then, we dey swim erosion, very mighty erosion. Where they from here, they come out for Testami Road. Sometimes we no go pass on like 3 days, even before until it dry. But thank God for today, the road up because tired as I see and so.
On his part, the asphalt contractor, engineer Abraham Omotayo, said they are currently laying stone base on the road to prepare the road for laying of asphalt. He added that the governor has given a directive to them to expedite the job and ensure it is completed on time.
You know now, as we come, it's not last week we start this work now. Then, by the grace of God, this road, by Saturday, we start to be laying the asphalt. So we are doing the priming today. Yeah, this stone base. We are doing the stone base now. So after the stone base, we will do the priming. After the priming on Saturday, we will lay the asphalt.
The residents are optimistic that the project will be completed before the rainy season. Osarogi Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
In its quest to enhance Nigeria's business environment through strategic reforms, the State Action of Business Enabling Reform has organized its 2025 sensitization workshop for commissioners of finance across Nigeria. Organizer says the workshop seeks to bolster investment promotion among states. BeeTv News' Kwelumi Mukoro reports.
The State Action on Business Enabling Reforms event, organized by the Federal Ministry of Finance in collaboration with Nigeria's Governors Forum and the World Bank, brought together key stakeholders from various sectors with the aim of enhancing Nigeria's business environment through strategic reforms. In welcoming participants, Dr. Ali Mohammed, the National Program Coordinator for State Action on Business Enabling Reforms, highlighted the achievement of the program and emphasized the need for more collaboration among states.
We are considering the achievement that we have recorded during the period of implementation of our SIFTAs. And based on that, the essence is we intend to look at the progress that we have made so far vis-a-vis the challenges we are confronting today so that we move forward in the implementation of the program.
While declaring the event open, Lydia Shehu Jafia, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, seized the opportunity to state the objectives of the workshop.
The commitment of the program is so gratifying that apart from 3 states, 33 states, including FCT, have signed up the SMEs, which is a subsidiary loan agreement. I think they deserve it.
Speaking exclusively with the media, Chairman Commissioners of Finance Forum Akintude Oyebode spoke on the significance of the program in unlocking Nigeria's economic potential and facilitating sustainable development.
It's a critical program to help improve the competitiveness of Nigeria. You know, economic activity happens in the states. So if the states individually and collectively improve their business environment, make themselves more competitive, that rising tide will lift all boats and it makes Nigeria a lot more competitive as a country.
There's no doubt that this workshop will mark a pivotal step into mobilizing state-level actions to foster a more business-friendly climate nationwide. Belumi Mokoro reporting for BeeTv News.
And now talking sports, where Jude Bellingham red card from referee Jose Luis Montero during the match with Osasuna in the La Liga games is being investigated after there were reports that the referee used offensive words on the player. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe has details of these and more from our sports desk.
Real Madrid were up in arms last weekend at the decision of referee Jose Luis Montero to send off Jude Bellingham for dissent in the first half of their 1-1 draw against Osasuna at El Sadar. The fallout from the controversial red card Jude Bellingham received this past weekend continues as there is now a new twist involving referee Jose Luis Montero. Montero gave a red card to Bellingham in the first half of Real Madrid's match against Osasuna in La Liga. The latest in the controversy now centers on Montero, as the referee is under investigation by the Spanish Football Federation's Compliance Committee, according to Diario AS. A formal inquiry has been launched into the official's alleged extra-sporting activities. Victor Osimhen is still keen to join Manchester United without European football. Manchester United's quest to find a solution to the striker predicament is expected to dominate the summer transfer window. There are lots of problems for Manchester United to solve at Old Trafford over the next 6 months to get this team ready for the 2025-2026 season. United have only scored 28 goals this season, with it quite evident that Rasmus Højlund isn't good enough, while Amorim admits Joshua Zirkzee is not a striker but rather a number 10. A true world-class number 9 is needed, and Napoli's Victor Osimhen would fit the bill. Company puts Bayern Munich's struggle against Celtic down to busy. Bayern Munich's busy match schedule affected their performance in the 1-1 draw against Celtic on Tuesday. Coach Vincent Kompany said after the German hosts needed a stoppage time equalizer to squeeze through to the Champions League round of 16 on aggregate in their playoff, but after struggling against the Scots, who had the better chances and took the lead in the 63rd minute through Nicolas Kohn, a former Bayern reserve player. And that's it on Sport News. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
And now to entertainment. Ayra Starr has made history as the first woman in 16 years to win Best African Music Act at the 2025 Mobile Awards. The Nigerian star also took home the Best International Music Act Award at the ceremony held in Newcastle. The report. Ayra Starr clinched the award by beating co-Nigerians Asake Anthems and also South Africa's Tyla. She also beat stars like Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, and Lato. Ayra Starr 2025 joins Wizkid 2017-2021 and Burna Boy 2020-2022 as the only Nigerian artist to have won the Mobile Awards for Best International Act. The event, hosted by India Polak and Eddie Cardi, celebrated the best of black music and culture. In an acceptance speech, the visibly emotional singer said this is the first time she's winning a Mobile Award, thanking her team and everyone that supported her. She also thanked her amazing brothers who make music with her, the producers in the studio, her studio partners in crime, Alebe, Maven Records, Embryo, and her mom. Other notable winners at the 2025 Mobile Awards included Bashi, Dako, and Odile. Dako also secured the Best Female Act Award. The Mobile Awards Music of Black Origin Awards is an annual British music ceremony that honors excellence and music of black origin, spanning genres such as hip-hop, R&B, soul, reggae, jazz, gospel, and African music. With Ayra Starr's historic win, the Mobiles continue to showcase the undeniable influence of African music on the global stage. Rihanna's partner A$AP Rocky was found not guilty on all counts by jurors in his felony criminal trial in Los Angeles on Tuesday. The 36-year-old had been charged with a pair of felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and the shooting of one of his longtime friend A$AP Rocky. The incident happened in Los Angeles, California in November 2021. Rihanna broke into tears as the verdict was read after a 3-week trial. Three-time Grammy nominee A$AP Rocky faced up to 24 years in jail if convicted in the case. A$AP Rocky then ran over to hug the music superstar. "Thanks you all for saving my life," A$AP Rocky told the jury, which was composed of 7 women and 5 men. Rihanna also took to her Instagram stories on Tuesday to express her relief. "The glory belongs to God and God alone," the We Found Love artist said, adding, thankful, humbled by his grace. Lastly, on entertainment, the Ogun State Police Command has dismissed claims made by controversial singer Habib Okikiola, popularly known as Portable, that he is mentally unstable and is undergoing psychiatric treatment. Recall that the police declared him wanted on Monday, February 17, over his alleged violent attack on some state government officials. In a video posted on Tuesday, February 18th, Portable declared that he is a madman receiving treatment